Hi, welcome back. So, I guess before I start speaking, I would like to say that this is just an audio format. I will not be wasting my energy in trying to make it aesthetically as aesthetic as I can. I'm not gonna do that because I will not be editing this one. This one is just me speaking my heart out about life because at 12 a.m. at night, this is the only time when I start thinking about it. So I think I've been at my house and not doing anything for past few months, and I've been procrastinating a lot. That is also a thing. Right now where I'm sitting, it is the exact same place where I always come to just to speak to myself. But it's only different this time because I am not only speaking but also recording. So that is one thing. But I think I've been doing this since 2019, I guess. I clearly remember I had my summer vacations during that time. I had just graduated high school and I came back to my hometown and I used to sit here, watch stars, talk to myself, or talk to the universe. I mean, this might sound, I guess, quite absurd to a lot of people, or maybe it might sound absurd to you, but I really do talk to myself, and like I think that the universe is listening to me. Sounds very superstitious. Yeah, at times it also does feel very stupid to me, but this is something that I just do, and I think it really helps me a lot. Maybe like I'm not sure if it has ever helped me in my entire life actually, but I'll just I'll just think that it did. So I yeah, like one thing that I think I have noticed about myself, that I'm very optimistic, and it might it might get problematic at times. Like I'm just too optimistic about a lot of things in my life that I should not be too much optimistic about. I guess optimism is a very great thing, but sometimes you're just too much optimistic about things that no matter how downhill things are going, you still think that it's gonna be all right, and maybe you just stop trying because of that. Like a lot of times this happens with me when I know that I'm doing something which is going extremely bad and there is no future scope to it, but I still keep holding on to it because I think that someday it's going to be great because I'm very positive about it. uh, but yeah, apart from that, the reason I wanted to talk about life, I guess, is because I recently just recognized this in myself, that I'm not happy. Like when I was 19 years old, no, not 19, when I was 16, 17 years old, I think life was much better during that time because I think I had no expectations from myself. But now I think I expect just too much from myself. Like, and that's why I've been doing a lot of shit. Since I've graduated, I really don't know. I think most of us lives are revolving around careers and shit. I really try not to use bad words, but I really can't help it, so I'm really sorry. So, what I was saying is that most of our lives revolve around what we do because we think that that is the most important part of our life, obviously, because capitalism. So, it doesn't matter how much I try to talk about life in a very philosophical way, I think it really comes itself, it just really goes through all the things and just comes to an end where I talk about capitalism, because it is very important, to be very honest. You can't just go through life without having money. I mean, if you not really have money to even get any, like, it's not, I don't think it's really about money. It's all about things that you can get from money. So, yeah. So, like, it's 12 a.m., as I've already mentioned, and I'm sitting outside my house in my jhula. If you don't know what a jhula means, if you don't understand Hindi, it means swing. So yeah, I'm sitting on it as I always do. Actually, I think it's been a very long time since I've been here, and it's also been a very long time since I've recorded a podcast in which I'm talking about just myself. I think I was very much driven by a lot of things which were happening, so I really wasn't talking about myself because I don't know what I thought, but I was not. Anyways, I think the reason I'm recording this podcast is because of humans that I see every day who are very happy with their life, which is very crazy actually, because I feel like I've just forgotten the meaning of happiness since 2020. Because after that lockdown thing, I think a lot of us haven't moved on, and I really think that I have not. It's like a lot of things happened since the lockdown. Like a lot of shit happened, loads of different things. I think my entire life has been changed after lockdown. I met a lot of great people. I got into college. I have graduated. Like that is crazy to think about, because I think I got into college in lockdown, and now that I've graduated, I can't even remember what I did on, like, I did a 3-year degree, so I really don't remember what I did there. I mean, if I just try to, remember things, that I will just get it. But I think during these years, I found very nice people. I have also spent very nice moments, and but at the end of the day, like when you're sitting alone in your house, in your room, at the corner where you listen to music and you think about life, I personally, from my experience, I think I'm not feeling that satisfaction or happiness. I really don't know why it is happening. There might be a lot of psychological, sorry, is it called psychological reasons behind that. But since I'm not a doctor, neither I hold any, I don't have enough knowledge about it. So I don't know why this is happening. Could be a lot of things, but as far as of my interpretation, I think that the last time I was genuinely happy about doing things is maybe when I was 16 years old. After that, it's just very hard for me. But I think I am very jealous of people who are, like, it might sound very negative, but yeah, I'm very jealous of people who are happy with the mediocrity of their life. Like, there are some people who, doesn't matter how well they're doing or how well they're not. I guess it also depends on the perspective, because I think as this generation of us, I think we really need validation from people, and it doesn't just come naturally to us. I think it has been forced onto us by our parents' generation. I can't just generalize actually, but I think this is somewhere true in my case at least. So, wait a minute, I'm getting a notification. I just need to put this shit on. What is it called? Do not disturb. Yeah. So, as I was saying, that I'm very jealous of people who are very happy in their life, even though from my perspective, I feel like they're doing just fine. Like it's like they're doing just survivable in this world. And I'm not saying that I am judging them in any sort of way, but rather I just feel like that those people are just, like, I really envy them, because I feel like they have learned how to be happy in every situation. And I think the only part that I can do for myself to be happy is to not depend on something. Which, I mean, I think if I speak, I just speak for myself. I'm not speaking on behalf of a lot of people. And if you're maybe relating with me, that's great. Great in the sense that not great because what I'm talking about is quite sad, but great because that's nice. I am happy that there are people who I can relate to. That's very good. But yeah, I just feel like I have been setting up levels where I constantly feel like, I think it is not even about the validation that I need from others. It's just about validation that I need from my own self. And I get that validation only if I accomplish something. I don't know why is that so. I think it just happened, and it is just happening. It just keeps happening. So that is why, like, even if you, I mean, I think I have seen or I have heard a lot of people say this when we were kids, and suppose we had a dream like of doing something or maybe getting something, but once you achieve that thing, I don't think you are as excited as you will think that you will be when you will get to that level. And I think it happens because maybe you have manifested that so much, or maybe you have worked too hard for it, that now it doesn't really matter. Like, the journey have probably taught you much more than what actually being in that place will. So yeah, that is it. That I don't know what the fuck do I get out from all of that shit that I've just said, but what I'm trying to say is something good, is what I believe. So living in the moment, I guess. Yeah, I am. I am gonna start to. I'm gonna start living in the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna start to just not worry about future a lot. But yeah, you can't just say, like, it's very easy to say that you're not just gonna worry about future. It happens a lot of times to me when I'm sitting here in this place where I'm right now. It is like, there are times when I feel like fuck everything. I don't want to do anything, and I'm just very happy with what's going on in my life. I think I've also mentioned this one thing in my podcast earlier, that I really love the idea of living a simple life, uh, because I I just think about people in the past, because they lived their life very simple. They did not had like they had ambition. I'm not saying that they were ambitionless, but again, it was not a materialistic ambition. Neither was it. It was basically meant for survival. But I do not really want to talk about how humanity have come such a long way, where nothing is enough and we always just try to push ourselves to make something greater. I think a great example of it would be that this one incident which happened with me when I was in my university, and we had this final year project, and we had to choose a topic because I did computer science. So we had to choose a topic, we had to develop an app or a software that was unique and wasn't actually made before by anyone else, which was very impossible actually to come up with an idea which hasn't already been implied, or is like, if I just ask you that, can you just suggest me an app, like, just come up with an idea of an application that doesn't exist. I think it's going to be very hard for you to come up with it. Maybe there might be, possibilities are endless. There might be things that people still have not came up with, but I definitely think that if you go anywhere out on the internet, I think there is an app for everything, and that is, by app, I'm trying to say that there is nothing new that you can do in this planet right now, because I think everything has been done. We are born into the generation, or in the circumstances, where I think our past generations have already figured everything out and they've made everything. I don't think there is something definitively new that we can do about our lives, rather than just follow what people have already done. And I think this is one of the reasons that Gen Z is more of a living the life sort of people. Like, I'll just talk on behalf of myself. The almost all of the friends of mine, almost all of the Gen Z people that I see, I really feel like these people, not just these people, even including me, or maybe I will just be speaking on behalf of the things that I've been seeing. It all is coming from a very small world of mine, because I like to believe that I haven't seen much of it yet, and there are still people like that who really want to make a change on the planet. But it is like, I personally feel that a lot of people in this generation, of my generation, are not really about making a change or making a significant change in the society. I think, as right now, as we are progressing, we are trying to become more unique individually as we can. I think some days later, I was watching a YouTube video in which one, I think it was a interview of some IS officer, and I think the interviewer asked him about, uh, how do you think a person from the earlier generation would describe them differently from the generation right now, and he asked him that, like, you please explain that in like an Instagram bio format. Like, suppose if your father makes an Instagram account right now, and what would be his bio compared to what will be my bio right now. So, like, I myself will try to answer that in my, like, words. So it is like, I personally feel, if you think, the earlier generation used to describe themselves as a part of a community, as a part of something larger. But as now that we progress, we really try to, like, I think, differentiate. We really try to have that USP in us, because now it is not really about groupism. Now I think it has really become about how well you can do individually, and that's why I think all of us try to stand out in everything rather than working in groups. So right, even I think the meaning of friendships also might have changed. Sorry, did I just say changed it? The meaning of friendships also might have changed during the years, because I mean, is it, I think all of us really find it very hard to make friends, even to make friends right now. And I think when I say that we are finding it difficult to make friends, I think we are really on a bad level, because in the place where we are not even able to trust people to be our friends, obviously relationships are gonna fail. There are a lot of people with successful shit going on. I'm definitely not saying anything about that, but I think it is a major setback that we have come to the level where we are just too I don't know, anxious, and all of us have trust issues. I think, like, if you ask a millennial about Gen Z, I think all they say about that, these kids talk about depression, these kids talk about individuality, these kids talk about LGBTQ like sexuality. I think it is only happening because we really, as a generation, do not have anything significant to take over and change something on the planet. Everything has already been done. Now what our generation is trying to do is preserve things. We are just trying to get back to make things more moral. I don't think right now anyone is just as enthusiastic about technology and science. More people are getting into humanities. More people just want to make change. Now we are mostly worried about how our government is doing. We're not really worried about if they're sending the moon to NASA or not. Look, sorry. The fuck did I just say? We're not. Did I just say that they're sending moon to NASA? No. Sorry, but yeah. We're not really worried about if they're sending our spaceships, rockets to moon, but we are more worried about what's happening on the planet, because I think we have already progressed so much as humans that now we have actually forgotten what humanity is. And that's why, I mean, there are a lot of things happening right now, even in the news. It's like I wake up and there's another news of someone getting raped, and which is terrible. And I think it is happening since this whole month. And if I start talking about that, it's gonna be a whole different topic. Actually, it is like, what I'm trying to say is, we right now just want to make change, I guess. And it's not the change which, if we talk about change, it's very different. It also depends on times. Like, before independence, people wanted to make change. I don't know why I got into that, but it's like, when we were under the British rule, we really did not have much. We just wanted independence. So I think it's just about the need of the hour. Right now we have everything, and that's why I think we are more leaned towards making the society a better place, I guess, but while also being individually unique. I don't know how that is working, but it is working. I really have no idea what the fuck have I talked about in the past minutes that I've been recording myself. It just happens, actually. Like, if I just hit the record button, I just keep speaking, and one topic leads to another, and then I have no idea. Like, I've completely lost track of what I was initially gonna talk about. And this has already happened now. So I have no idea. I started talking about life, and now I am talking about suddenly Gen Z. I don't know why everything just comes across to me where I start talking about Gen Z. This is just stupid. But, I mean, in this episode, I think there are going to be a lot of times me being just silent and not saying anything. So I'm so sorry for that, because I really am not going to edit this shit. I'm so fucking done editing. Editing is so fucking hard. Yesterday I was editing a video, like just 5 minutes video, and only to get copyright on the whole 2 minutes clip, and then I had to remove it from the video. So I'm not gonna edit this one. Bullshit. I'm so of a effortless human, I really hate doing shit. And I really don't like this about myself. Like, I, me being, me trying to be as like perfect. I was gonna say perfectionist, but yeah. Me trying to be as perfect as I can, but at the same time, I don't want to put efforts. So fucking tired of life. I'm like, I don't know why I'm always tired. Like, I'm always tired actually, without doing anything. And I have also quit coffee. And now I really don't know what the fuck should I talk about. Like, I think I'm running out of topics. This is why it's way better to have someone in the podcast rather than just me talking to myself. Because if there's someone else, if two people are talking, it's like a conversation and they come up with some else topic and then I also start talking about that. I really feel dizzy. I haven't slept today. Oh. I really wanted this podcast to be like 1 hour, but I don't think I'll be able to talk that much actually because I'm already sleepy. What could I talk about life? I mean, when I think about life, I guess it just goes into that. What the fuck do I want to do? Like, if you ask what I want to do, I just want to run away actually. I want to run the fuck away from my house. I have already made the thumbnail for this one video, and it looks like I'm gonna be talking some very deep shit about life. But now, when I have almost talked half the episode, I feel like this is bullshit, and I am really having second thoughts if I should even post that, but I will post it. Who the fuck? I have like 88 subscribers. Like, yeah. So, like, not, I don't think, and most of them are just like my friends, so like, I don't think anyone's gonna judge me, or even if they do, like, fuck it. So, what I wanna do is, I would just wanna run away, go, go into some fucking mountain. Like, there was this one episode of Doraemon, and it's called Doraemon, by the way, but people call it, so I'll call it Doraemon as well, yeah. There was this one episode of Doraemon where Nobita runs away from his house, getting all of his stupid shit with some gadgets of Doraemon, goes to an abandoned island, starts living there, and just happens to have like some fucking 30 years pass by, and then no one finds him. It's just too complicated. By the way, do you ever think that there's gonna be time machines? Like, I really think about it a lot actually, a lot of times. Like, could there be time machines? Is it possible to have time machines? How the fuck is it gonna work? I mean, in internet there are a lot of rumors saying that we already have the theoretical part, like on the paperwork, where we know how it could be made, but practically it's not possible. I guess people are working on that. Do people really have that much time to work on a time machine? I mean, I have a lot of time. I could work on that, but like, it's only because I don't know anything else, right? So if I were to be working on a time machine, that would totally make sense because I am anyway not doing anything significantly important. But if there are people who are, like, there are scientists, so like, why are they working on a time machine? They could. What the fuck am I even talking about? Like, I'm so high right now, and I'm generally saying that I'm actually high, and that's why, you know what? That is it for this video or this audio. This, I forgot to give the disclaimer actually, I was supposed to give in the very beginning of the video, that this is just gonna be an audio. This is not a video. All right. Bye. Good night.